Even though I know that there are disputes about Lex's story that she is planning on fully addressing,
I guess I shouldn't have expected him to be serious about what happened with me if he can do it about himself.
I inappropriately handled reporting on a story that I should not have reported on.
And it just is what it is, but the reaction to it didn't need to be the way it was.
I do not associate myself with anyone involved.
Oh, this is real. Like, they're not fucking around. They don't care. Okay.
And I should not have agreed to cover it when Ethan and Lex approached me with the idea.
At least to, like, reach out as a friend and be like, you good?
And now I do still want to say that even with them asking me, I don't think they had intentions to lie or to put my career in a bad spot.
Just what a letdown.
I am sorry for how I handled this. My addition to the story was destructive and it hurt everyone involved.
Fresh apology just dropped. Now, hi everyone, there has been a lot of people still asking about where I stand on the super mega situation after I deleted my initial statement. I followed that video up at the intro of a video from 3 weeks ago, but a lot of people didn't see it, and I want to further clarify how I feel after taking some time to reflect on it. I initially responded with anger when concerns were raised about my coverage of the story because I believed that these criticisms were coming in
bad faith. I made a hit piece on Matt and Ryan for attention and clout. There was an organized attempt to cancel Super Mega. I am one of the main people behind this attack. But I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely not a stranger to hate campaigns like this. Sneeko, ban him from the platform. Go to his channel pages and report the user. I would risk my career to ruin someone else's YouTube channel. I have suppressed anything in the comments of these videos. I am acting in complete dishonesty. That is the definition of attacking someone in bad faith. You cannot say you want to be held accountable until you actually say what you did.
So yeah, go to gocommerce.com, sign up for the emails and the SMS so that you get notified about the drop. Okay, now, back to Nick. I just didn't expect to have a free merch plug like that. Like, are you kidding me? You think I'm not going to take advantage of that? Sorry, Nicky boy. Should have known better. Now, concerns were raised about my coverage of the story because I believe that these criticisms were coming in bad faith from audiences of creators that have harassed me in the past. After reading messages from people in my community who have legitimate and valid concerns about my stance on the situation, I now realize that there are a lot of real criticisms about the videos I made that are sincere and point out where I seriously mishandled my coverage and reaction to the story. My responses minimized and discredited a lot of my viewers' concerns, and I was immature with how I reacted. Given the seriousness of these topics, I should have taken much more care with the titles, the content, and even the way I edited these videos. I regret the eagerness I had to insult Matt and Ryan in the story in ways that were unnecessary and careless, and for including details about them that were unrelated to Lex's assault. Regardless of whether or not these details were talked about in Lex's video, I should have been much more careful about the way I presented them, and I'm sorry for that. Okay, if you want to interpret this very cynically, this could be read as him kind of, pointing out, but also like low-key being like, okay, Lex said these things, you know what I mean? Like him kind of offloading a little bit of the ownership or whatever, right? But he's right, she did. I was trying to help a friend, but I was stubborn and emotional instead of taking the proper time to hear how I could have done better from people who were rightfully concerned. I wrongfully gave more value to the opinions of those who agreed with me over those who were holding me accountable for valid reasons, and that is something that I deeply regret. Fascinating. Okay, because this is almost exactly what I've been kind of talking about, where it's like you need friends who are willing to confront you. Express parrhesia. This is a literal Platonic, Socratic era statement to be parrhesiatic, to have a fidelity to truth, okay? Meaning to basically be so loyal to telling the truth that when you see a friend fucking up and you know that if you tell them, you confront them, that they're gonna get pissed off at you. Like you have no reason to tell them yourself, right? Because no incentive, because you know it might just fuck up your relationship. But you do it anyway. You confront them. You ask the hard questions. You give your opinion in spite of it potentially ruining a relationship. Those are the kind of friends you should want to have, okay? Again, not someone who's just putting you down for no reason, but somebody who is not afraid to tell you when you're fucking, you know what I mean? And so this is kind of what Nick seems to be speaking to. It sounds like he's saying that all of his friends around him, all of his at least associates or peers, were just gassing him up in relation to this situation and just allowing him to not face the mirror, you know? Because honestly, maybe because they don't care about him enough. That, or they're just not, Parisiatic. They don't have a fidelity to truth. Or maybe they just didn't even understand the situation, or they just were also just like, coping. I don't know. Anyway, I should have supported the victim without getting directly involved, but instead, by choosing to cover a sensitive story that involved people that I was close to, the outcome of my actions hurt all of the parties involved. I regret the way I approached reporting on such a serious topic, and I apologize to any victims of sexual assault that I've disappointed. I also want to apologize to those who support me and watch my content for how this has been handled. This experience has opened my eyes to what my priorities are as a content creator, and I am dedicated to thinking more deeply about how I use my platform and the way I communicate with my audience. I have a lot of growth that needs to be done as a content creator and person. Okay? I mean, this is sounding pretty good, right? I mean, what more can you really ask from Nick? I guess to exonerate Super Mega or whatever, right? I'm not really sure. You are 24 years old, Nick. Almost 25, right? I think is correct. Right, yeah. He's 24. So, you have had time to learn, my friend, okay? But life goes on, and evolution is what I would love to see. So, on myself too. Evolution, everyone can evolve, But most people won't evolve by accident. It has to be a decision, number one, and a conscious effort, right? Conscious consideration, right? It's work to evolve. Anyway, lastly, I want to apologize for how this has affected those who are not involved at all in this situation, but have associated with me and made content with me. I feel awful that my actions have caused people to stop supporting people who have absolutely nothing to do with the situation, solely because they are my friends or loved ones. Please don't let how I handled the situation reflect those who are in my personal life. This is probably in reference to, I believe, his girlfriend, his, band partner or mate, Queef Jerky being his band, Dev Lemons, who is kind of a talented, Instagram, TikTok comedian type girl, memer, but she also makes music. That's like her main thing. That's all we got from Nicky Boy. This is a good apology. Now just maintain this standard. Yeah, this is the biggest thing to take away from this. Nick can apologize. He already did apologize prior to this. Your actions, of course, in life, they will speak larger and more drastically than your words, right? I would know this firsthand as someone whose words have become less reliable over the years. So, this leads us to a relatively kind of weird situation in regard to this event or whatever. You go to LexUpDog's Twitter page and you go to her likes. Again, I take likes on Twitter with a grain of salt. Yeah, it's tacit support, etc., or whatever. But in this case, the reason I'm looking at it is because it does provide us a lens into the headspace of LexUpDog and how she's feeling about the situation, kind of broadly. Obviously, it was announced by Nick that she would be uploading or releasing a response.
Even though I know that there are disputes about Lex's story that she is planning on fully addressing this week, from my knowledge.
3 weeks ago. So I don't know what happened there, but maybe looking into her likes will give us a slightly better understanding. So Nick posted his response, his apology. It's a decent apology. And then Lex likes Habibi, who's a funny guy, saying, this motherfucker has made like 3 apologies and still couldn't do it right. Laughing my fucking ass off. So I'm pretty sure he's referring to the fact that he is... Well, sorry, actually, I'm not sure why Lex would like this. What is this even referring to? Is it that because he didn't write off the Super Mega stuff? Oh, yeah, exactly. He did all that, yet he didn't apologize to the people he slandered. Huh. I don't know why Lex liked this, but anyway. AKA, I messed up, and now it's impacting me financially, so forgive me. So, this is very evident what this is indicating. Lex... not friendly with Nick at the moment. You know, it seems like we have more evidence to suggest that when Lex was mentioned in Nick's video, and Nick mentions, he says, I am no longer associated with anyone involved.
I do not associate myself with anyone involved.
It seems like he meant it. It seems like he did mean he is no longer associating with LexUpDog and Ethan is online. The 2 people who he was constantly saying were his good friends. Especially with Lex, obviously, literally using that to leverage his logic for inserting himself into the Super Mega situation. Again, I did not have a problem with him inserting himself into the situation. He has every right to report on whatever he wants. But, of course, the way he did it, I mean, ethically, as like a journalist, yeah, it's suspect. But like just in terms of fidelity to truth, like giving a fuck about reality and representing it the best of your ability, just no care, right? Let's keep scrolling. Lex is liking the tweets thrashing you, by the way. It's fair to say the people you preach about defending don't want any part of you, frankly. You keep saying reporting like you're a newscaster or something. You let your emotions take control and ranted, mostly about things not even relevant to the essay. That's not reporting. That's getting personal and ranting. You use your friend's essay allegations for personal gain. Lex is liking all of these. No real apologies. This is so obviously not because you're sorry and just because your numbers are down. This is shots, bro. This is wild. Sorry, I wasn't showing you, I guess. Here. Did you even proofread this? I think portraying him as a grand manipulator is homophobic. It plays off of historical tropes of gay men being seen as sneaky and deceptive. I do think that he took advantage of Lex's situation, but I think pinning all of this on him is a deflection from Super Mega. Okay. Like this guy is saying Lex only made her claim about SA because Leighton manipulated and coerced her too. That's crazy. Nah, there's a lot of stuff covered that wasn't necessary, and he should have trimmed down most of it. That said, the criticisms are overblown and used to detract from the real situation, meaning that a particular audience is using it to deflect. Nah, if she wasn't cool with the coverage, then that's fair. If that's the case, I also think an apology just towards her is necessary. He threw his own friends, Lex and Ethan, under the bus when public opinion changed about the Super Mega situation. Pretty clear how upstanding Nick is not good actually is. Boy. Wow. Wow. I've never seen a drama, which is what I'm going to call it at this point, because it's like, as far as it relates to Nick, it's drama. I've never seen it be so like almost movie-like. Feels like a fucking joke plot. LA YouTubers, how fucking viciously they turn on each other. You know what I mean? Like, dude, they fucking ate each other alive. But anyway, fucking crazy. I'm not gonna cap, okay? Again, I've of all people, I've been very, focused on not feeding into too much hysteria as it relates to LexUpDog, okay? I don't want to jump to any conclusions that I don't fucking know the answer to, okay? So I'm not casting doubt on her original story that, broke this whole situation, right, with Dawn, DRR. But it is interesting that she has pretty tacitly thrown Leighton under the bus, and now is pretty much kind of, like throwing Nick under the bus. Tacitly. Of course, she's only liking tweets. But like, if she releases a response, which I imagine she actually was working on, this means that she might be leaning into Nick. And maybe Nick deserves it. I don't know. We don't know right now if this is a situation where Lex is just opportunistically adopting him as a scapegoat, or if Nick was actually more involved in the orchestration of all this shit, and she has the DMs to prove it or something. Keep in mind, Lex asked Morgpie permission to use screenshots between herself and Morgpie in a response, okay?
Have you talked with Lex since? No. She messaged me on Twitter like yesterday asking if she could post screenshots that I sent her.
So that means that LexUpDog apparently is working on a response. Both Morgpie and Nick have stated this, and Morgpie said Lex was asking permission to use screenshots. Okay? It's possible, I don't fucking know, it's possible that a part of this falling out, I don't know, could have been Lex asked Nick to use screenshots and he did not approve. Complete speculation. Total. But if we do get the fucking group chat leaked, our boy Nick, well, this might be him. This situation has spiraled and morphed. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Into such an incredibly ugly, disfigured, difficult to deal with snowman. But summer's coming. I smell it. Summer's coming. But in the meantime, it seems like this situation is not over, okay? Lex is going to most likely release some kind of response. And it feels like she probably will not have nice things to say about Nick. And look, I'm going to be completely fucking frank with you right now. Completely deadly to the bone frank. The way that Nick uses the word friend, to me, shameful, bro. The idea that you would do what he did for his friend, justifying it because it's his friend. Of course, I didn't look at the facts. My friend was assaulted, and I felt like people didn't hear her story.
This isn't like an online, like, normal thing where I look at all the facts and I make a decision. No. My friend was assaulted and never felt like she was able to be heard.
When that story already had 200,000 views without your video, literally as he was recording the video, you can see in his own video that Lex's video had 200,000 views before he covered it. Matt from Super Mega already said he was working on a response. So him feeling like her story wasn't heard was a lie. There are many lies at this point, heavily documented. You don't need to hear them all. But the point is, using that, the core of his reasoning, my friend was assaulted, I wanted to lift her message, lie. Again, I ride this line, though, where it's like, he's not a fucking evil genius. People are confused. People are contradictory. People don't know what they actually want sometimes in life. But the evidence does suggest that it was an egoic fucking endeavor. He wanted to feel like a holy crusader. All right. Our boy Nick was raised a devout Protestant? I don't really care. He was a religious fella. And some of that religious, kind of superiority, I don't know what term you would use, could have rubbed off on him to the extent where he kind of gets off on putting down toxic, problematic people. I get it. Okay? I do similar things in some of my videos. It's just important to be aware of it. All right, Nick? It's important to be aware of these fucking things. All right? Because when you start convincing yourself that you made that video you made innocently, trying to help your friend, yeah, you're a dog shit friend. And this is the manifestation of that. You're alone, bro. You've been abandoned. And it's good that you're sorry, and it's good you see avenues for improvement. And I highly doubt that you'll, do anything like this again. You know what I mean? You will survive this. You know what I mean? You'll be okay. You'll just have to face the music for a bit, probably. But beyond this and you, it is a learning experience. We do want to pull some fucking lessons out of it, okay? That's pretty much all the benefit we can really get from making so much fucking YouTube content, right? Besides just literal, vacuous, egoic fucking bullshit. Sludge. We get to learn a lesson. Nick, in the face of controversy, after doing the favor to his friend of introducing her story to like fucking 500,000 to 600,000 more people, and it blowing up in their faces, and them pointing either finger at each other and trying to escape accountability, he, very willingly seeming, abandoned them. I am no longer associated with anyone involved. This is so different, so far from my view of friendships and what a friend should be like, that I genuinely want to transmute this fucking message to you, okay? You should not be writing off your friends. If you were in on the plans that are leading to you writing them off as friends, you know what I mean? Obviously, certain extreme circumstances I would understand, but if you're a friend to somebody, you do two things. You tell them how they fucked up, if they fucked up, and you try, or at least give them the time, to try and evolve, become better, earn your trust back. You do not slice and dice. You don't cut them off. You don't say, bye-bye. Because if you do that, in my opinion, it's a sign that you were never fucking friends. Like, do you want friends that treat you like you're disposable? No, right? Be the person. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? Pretty simple lesson. Anyway, you probably heard that one a lot in church, right, Nick? Now, these are all things I've said, and I am repeating myself, but I do think this is like very important message to continue to bash into your head, where it's like, it is very important in life to have friends, not followers. Seriously. You need to be trying to make friends now. This is not something to put off, okay? The longer you have an opportunity to be someone's friend, the better you understand them, etc., etc. You develop a group feeling. Bro, when you have real friends that you're working with, hanging out with, whatever, you can't replicate that feeling. That's real. It's fucking beautiful, you know? When you have common interests, or you're invested in each other, you want to see each other evolve, you're unstoppable when you have relationships like that. So yes, that's my plea, okay? Make friends. If you don't have any, fix that. Evolve. Become the best version of yourself you can be. And when shit's going bad, when somebody fucks you over, don't just cut them off completely, okay? Again, depends on the severity. If they really scum you, then fuck them. But in this case, you know, Lex being the victim, yeah, the idea that Nick would just weird. Now, if Lex is actually just looking for a fall guy, this is kind of sad. Like, this is just sad. You know what I mean? If Nick really wasn't more involved than he stated, you know, Nick's being honest or whatever, that Lex and Ethan were the ones to approach him about making the video, you know what I mean? This is opportunist on Lex's part, okay? The big thing is we just gotta wait for her response. We can't be definitive about any of this shit. We just gotta wait. And yeah, you know, whatever. We shouldn't be really that invested in, you know, what Lex has to say, what Nick has to say. At this point, everything, from what I can tell, has pretty much been said. Again, Lex might have new insights, maybe, but I suspect the story is already pretty cut, you know, clear, right? So, if we're going to spend time on it, let's have a little bit of fun, and let's learn some lessons, you know? I would never befriend a YouTuber. That's facts. Listen, as an idiot who a year ago, keep this in mind, a year ago I had never met a YouTuber. The first YouTuber I've ever met in real life was JReg. And it is for, the reason that I met him is for the big video I'm about to release on my main channel. And if you're watching this on the Clips channel, it might already be out. Main channel is Gokanaru. It's going to be the commentary video of the year. I believe that. Even if it's pompous. Fuck you. Okay. I'm just kidding. But like, please watch it. Now, getting back to what I was saying. Meeting J-Rag in real life was fucking trippy. Because it made this whole YouTube thing feel a lot more real. And one thing that I've realized now, through J-Rag, I've met many YouTubers. YouTubers are so aggressively human. And I mean this in the sense of, you almost have to have something wrong with you to want to be a YouTuber. And so the biggest thing is just being aware of that. You know, it might seem like an easy job, and it is for some people, for sure. It's an easy job. It's not. It is very easy to be, you know, very demanding, you know. So again, that depends person to person, whatever. The point is, what I'm saying is, like, Nick, this fucking guy, of his own devices, completely on his own. What did you expect, robots? No, I just expected people who were more calculating. I expected them to have something I didn't. You know what I mean? I expected them to be more dialed in, right? Like I expected people who are more successful than me to have better systems than me, to be like closer to Mr. Beast, where it's like he analyzes so much shit, you know what I mean? I expected them to be calculating, but in reality, like the vast majority of them literally fly by the handle, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a mixture of luck, charisma, and instinct, and they just run with it. And I was describing being in an editing hole for the last 3 weeks. So many of the YouTubers I've interacted with have related on this. It's like, I didn't realize this was a thing. Like, I literally felt like I was a fucking actual crackhead losing my mind for how, like, little I was sleeping and how long it was taking me to edit. And then I talked to other YouTubers and they're like, oh yeah, no, same. It's not like a healthy, it has that, this is like a career that can be very unhealthy if you're uncareful or whatever. And Nick is not green is certainly a person who is extremely productive, but to an unhealthy extent, from what I can tell, okay? At the time of, again, this isn't me excusing him. Certainly, he's an arrogant individual, or was, whatever. But it is true that when, Lex released her story, it was the same day as the first day of Queef Jerky's tour, right? So this guy's fucking touring, organizing all that bullshit. He's uploading sludge drama content every fucking day almost. He's uploading a lot. And again, these are all his choices, right? But I'm just telling you, it's like YouTubers get lost in the sauce, okay? YouTubers, this is scary. You might watch YouTubers and you think to yourself, oh, it's so great that this person, with this unique perspective is coming and telling me what to think. Giving me their opinion. The audience, if you are not careful, if you are not conscious, calculating to an extent, the audience can shape your opinion. That happens to Nick, okay? The content that you make can shape your opinion very easily. So, Nick's used to making sludge fucking diarrhea drama content. Respect. Farm that money, big boy. I know your passion's music. Makes sense. Your main channel, well, it's more effort, less views. Simple equation. Okay. So, farming sludge, diarrhea drama. Okay. But you're so used, after a certain point, to grinding your dick and balls off, finishing videos every day, or very quickly, that when you get served with a monstrously complicated 2.5 hour video going through the entire, relationship between all these people, Super Mega, Ryan, Rav, all these equations, all this shit, Leighton, all these characters that Nick vaguely knew, right? And you find out that there's a 3-hour-long stream from Leighton, there's a 2-hour-long stream from Morgue Pie, and you are on tour, and assuming this is the case, he already agreed to Lex that he would make a video on this. I could see how you could get to a point where this fucking idiot recorded his video. Get this, bro. Recorded his fucking video about Lex's story at around 10:30 p.m., okay? On the Friday. So, recording his video around 10:30 p.m. Finishes his video probably, midnight? 11:30? So, from 11:30 to midnight. Guess when this fucking video gets dropped? 1 p.m. my time, which for Nick in California would mean 10 a.m.? Less than 12 hours turnaround overnight, okay? For literally covering fucking about 7 hours of content, give or take. Okay? 6 hours, we can say. Naive, stupid, probably didn't want to do it. He did it. Probably was excited to do it. Okay? It was an exciting thing. But yes, I see how somebody could do this, okay? And so this exercise I'm doing here is again, I'm not excusing this shit. It is quite simply to understand how to avoid repeating other people's mistakes, to actually learn from other people's mistakes, which you should aspire to do in life, because trust me, bro, there are a lot of mistakes I've made in my life that I did not need to learn the hard way, okay? In life, you should try to avoid learning the hard way. Still, whatever. We learn the hard way sometimes. Nick is learning the hard way right now. You gotta face the music, okay? When you learn the hard way. And so, yes, for you though, just keep in mind, again, God forbid you wouldn't probably not have a remotely close situation to this. This is so specific, so weird. But be cautious that when Nick was covering a serious fucking video about a very complex essay story, he treated it like the sludge, trauma, diarrhea, dog shit, disastrously. Sorry. He treated the fucking serious allegations as if it was literally TikTok drama. Okay? He sensationalized it. He literally, again, people think a lot of the times that they work a job and the job is what they do. Like they just do the job and then they go home and, you know, they're just their own person. You give inputs, outputs. The job programs you to an extent. And YouTube absolutely programs their creators. Okay? It primes them. It's very difficult to avoid. I have learned it through the Clips channel, okay? When you are playing by their rules in their game, you learn to adapt. You learn to fall in line. You realize, if I want to get something to have a mass reach, I've got to... What do I got to do? I've got to sensationalize the fuck out of it. Super Mega are horrible people. It's over. Again, he didn't monetize the video. I think he believed his intent was only to help Lex. But his actions speak to the fact that he was treating it like, you know, this is just drama. I'm excited. You absolutely become what you do. Okay? If you want to limit the amount that you become that, you have to be aware of that fact. Okay? Nick was not made aware for many years, to be honest. I mean, at least 3. Because his audience never really held him too accountable to this shit, you know what I mean? Like, okay, Nick's making drama content, it's fine, whatever. He had a few controversies. The Gus Johnson one was significant. He should have, that was sus, okay? But he kind of got away with it because, you know, it's Gus Johnson, fuck him, whatever, who cares? He kept getting away with it. He kept building up yes men who kind of agreed with him on this stance. All these faux friends, these relationships, these influencers, whatever. Again, you reap what you sow to an extent when it comes to friendship. Keep that in mind. Okay, you become friends with people out of convenience. They're probably becoming friends with you out of convenience, okay? The point that I'm getting at is his audience they have a social contract, okay? And so this is where the job programs you, but part of this audience and why being a YouTuber is difficult and very weird is that it's not just a matter of your job shaping you. It's not just a matter of like, okay, so I have to sensationalize this and I need to say this at the start. I need to program my brain to optimize for your fucking videos. You also have the audience that you are accountable to. So you have the fucking numbers that you need to juice, and you have the fucking audience. And Nick, his audience, was not primed to hold him accountable to a high fucking journalistic standard because he covers sludge drama content. Okay? It feeds in to each other, right? And so now that his audience actually was holding him accountable, bro, the amount of cope that man exhibited, he couldn't fucking handle it because he wasn't used to it. His audience shaped his fucking head, his thinking, right? You have a victim. You support the fucking victim no matter what. You know what I mean? Even if you fucked up, it's like, no, I was just supporting the victim. It's an easy cope, right? Most of his audience could get behind that. Where he fucked up is that where he truly broke the social contract that is agreed upon with his audience when he disregarded Ryan's trauma, okay? When he made that incendiary comment after Ryan talked about how he, was bothered by the fact that got brought into this situation, Ryan's old friend, whom he fucking found, Nick disregarding that was a breach of his audience social contract, okay? You're supposed to be empathetic. You're supposed to be tender when it comes to, self-harm, all this stuff. And instead, he went pure ego. I fucking made it, bro. I made it. There we go. You went pure ego, and you are seeing the consequences of that. I won't cap, okay? And I think I said this in my original coverage. When I saw his response to Ryan's statement, I was actually shocked. And I realized, like, oh yeah, this dude he is deep in the sauce. And now he is being scooped out of the fucking soup and being thrown into the sink because that arrogance, bro, on this platform, when you are disregarding your own audience's social contract, you're gonna get fucking eaten alive, That's a real concern that most occupations don't involve, okay? Getting cannibalized by your audience. Again, Nick fostered an audience that would be very willing to cannibalize him by covering situations with so little nuance, by chewing up a bunch of details, spitting it into your mouth and saying, that guy bad, this girl weirdo, bad, whatever, you know what I mean? By giving you one-dimensional fucking narratives and thought and just making shit super whatever, simple narrative, this person kind of gross, bad, whatever. Drama. This thinking, what do you think happens? The audience thinks the same way. They're going to treat you the same way at least, right? So yeah, when you foster such fucking a lack of care, lack of journalistic integrity, a lack of nuance, whatever, you're priming yourself to be devoured if you fuck up. And Nick, his arrogance, it's time to eat, bro. Anyway, I don't know, is there much more to add, really? Quite a fucking aggressive rant in terms of length there. But yeah, it also doesn't help. Most of his audience is like preteens and teenagers. Yeah, I mean, that's true too. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like Nick, he does look like, but he also kind of communicates as if he is like 17, but he's 24, right? And again, this is one of these things. I do shape you. I do influence you to some extent. I foster whatever community more or less through what I say. But you do shape me to an extent. It's just like decentralized, you know what I mean? Instead of one person influencing a bunch, it's a bunch influencing one, right? And so yeah, being aware of that to me is very important because it is so easy to get lost in the sauce, and a lot of creators, a lot of YouTubers, whatever, that you guys know and that you guys might even respect, whatever, they are lost in the sauce. Now, that doesn't mean they're bad people. I really don't think Nick is like a bad person. I don't really try to make those kinds of judgments too on the nose. The only context where I said that that's kind of the case was with the Ryan response. That's where I was like, yeah, this dude's fucking, that's bad. But everyone's redeemable, okay? So, you know, I don't think that Nick is in danger or anything like that of really disappearing or whatever. But yes, he's been humbled, corrected, whatever you want to say, and hopefully something good will come of it, right? Whatever the fuck that means. Now that's gay. If 40-year-old predators in chat, I am not saying who it is. Bro, come on. When I say YouTubers lost in the sauce, who comes to mind? I don't hate the guy, but holy shit, he needs to take a quick break from the internet. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. The internet's dangerous. And bro, trust me, sometimes like the safe spaces on the internet are the most dangerous. Because you get sucked into that fucking mentality of like, okay, we're keeping safe spaces. You're really, literally, consciously, actively trying to shield yourself from reality sometimes, okay? I get why people want them. I get that people get stressed, whatever, all this shit. But Nick's trying to foster a safe space, which kind of means like, any bad thing, we just get rid of it. Bye-bye. Oh, your friends fucked you over because they asked you to make a video about some assault allegations and people are mad at you now because you actively, opportunistically jumped on it and like, yeah, give me that. Well, bye-bye, friends. Put you away now. You little fucks. Bye-bye. Out of my life. I'm not associated with them anymore. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. They are gone now. I am in a safe... I'm safe. I'm safe now. We're safe. The problem's gone. Yeah, you're not living in reality, bro. That's what it is. You are living in your fucking own world. In your own globe. You know what I mean? You're in your own sauce. And you're lost. And there's a cost. Now watch me lost. Fuck. I can't floss. That's it. That's all I got.